It's Monday, June 29th.
Box headed away by Ocon. It's Eustachio! Stefan Eustachio in stoppage time!
Moving on, Canada on to the round of 16 at the FIFA World Cup.
You should be so proud of this game. You never lost a beat. You went after it, point after point, moment after moment. You are Canadian heroes.
Matthew Marsh showing some Canadian pride with a passionate speech.
My brother's going to the medical tent. I think he's having a jammer.
No.
Yeah, it's exciting.
What an outfit. Canada fans, get a few days of rest and you're going to need it. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning. Happy Monday.
Caught me off guard. Oh my goodness.
I wish everybody at home could have heard that laugh that exited you when you saw that.
What? Where do people get these outfits?
Yeah, well.
Big weekend. Happy birthday to Sadie.
Happy birthday to... Can I say it?
To me, yeah.
Yeah, to you. Happy birthday to Daryl Rummel.
Much more exciting for the little one. She got a bunch of toys and stuff. They had to have the birthday party in the rain, though. Yeah,
well, we stayed inside for the birthday party. Are you staying inside today?
I don't know what I'm doing today. We'll figure it out as we go along. It's 6:01. Let's get to news, and we begin with sports news, which is great. That's a nice gift. Canada is through to the round of 16 at the FIFA World Cup thanks to the late goal.
Here's Jacob Schaffelberg. Schaffelberg's ball into the box, headed away by Ocon. It's Eustachio! Stefan Eustachio in stoppage time!
That goal coming in the second minute of stoppage time as Canada earned a hard-fought 1-0 victory over South Africa. The win is the latest first for the men's national team, as they never thought they'd make it through to the knockout stages before getting to this game. They sat back, they defended well, but things really took a turn in minute 75.
The captain comes on with 15 minutes remaining in this round of 32 game in the same stadium where he was injured.
And Alphonso Davies made his return to the Canadian lineup, stepping onto the pitch for his nation for the first time in 15 months. He tore his ACL in a game versus the U.S. at LA Stadium in March of 2025 and recently suffered a hamstring injury in early May. He changed the game when he came on, forcing South Africa to focus on him, ultimately opening up some space for the game-winning goal. Who will Canada play in the round of 16? Well, we will find out later today, either the Netherlands or Morocco.
It's going to be a challenging game under challenging circumstances, but I'm looking forward to it.
The game will be a matchup between two teams ranked in FIFA's top 10. Both the Netherlands and Morocco made it out of the quarters at the last World Cup. The two countries have played only one World Cup match against each other before today. That was in 1994 when the Netherlands beat Morocco 2-1. Game time is 7 o'clock tonight. You can catch that on the mighty TSN. Neighborhoods in Regina experienced severe flooding due to heavy rain Saturday afternoon. Communities in the city's north end seeing up to 20 millimeters of rain, with the water being as high as their knees down some streets. People saying their basements filled with water. The city of Regina put out a notification advising residents not to enter flooded areas of water. Streets in the city's cathedral area also impacted. Cars deep in water, as you can see. Of course, there's always one underneath the overpass, because we don't learn.
That's a tornado! Look, it's a tornado!
Far more subdued reaction there. A look at some video in the aftermath of a confirmed tornado near Pelly, Saskatchewan on Sunday. Not all damage has been confirmed, but you can see there's been a number of downed trees and debris in different videos. We are expecting to know more today. This video is courtesy of a Facebook page called Bill's Interesting Things. On Sunday, Regina Police Service confirmed or responded to a weapons call in the area of 12th Avenue and Wallace Street. At around 3 in the afternoon, police arrived to a home on the 1900 block of Wallace, where they were told a man was outside wielding a knife. Police asked everyone to avoid the area. By 4:30 p.m., the operation was over and people were free to carry on as normal. The suspect taken into custody. Police say the investigation is ongoing. The Saskatchewan NDP addressed Bill 137 ahead of the Saskatoon Pride Parade. The bill, introduced in 2023, mandates that teachers inform and receive consent from parents if a student wishes to use a different name or pronoun at school. A number of Pride organizations have criticized the bill, with many expressing the belief that this protocol can be harmful across the province.
Children in our schools, those are safe spaces for kids, and a lot of times that's the first place that they kind of are able to express who they are, and I think teachers, for so long have been able to treat that situation with a lot of grace and a lot of kindness, and ensuring that proper communication is being made with parents. But really, it's about a safe home environment. Not all kids are able to express who they are.
CTV has reached out to the province for comment. Saskatoon Pride over the weekend, and probably a pretty wet parade, I would imagine.
Well, it rained pretty hard before the parade, but we did manage to stay mostly dry during the Pride Parade yesterday, Daryl. Once things got underway and we started marching, and thousands flocked to the downtown to take part and check it out. But there was a time when Pride celebrations in Saskatoon were limited to one room. The Zodiac Friendship Society, it's one of Saskatoon's first official organizations for LGBTQ2S+ people, was created in 1972, and the following year it found a home called the Gemini Club. Members say it was one of the few spaces where those in the community could feel safe. One of the organization's founding members spoke with CTV about the first time he got to see the Pride Parade in Saskatoon.
I stood by the Besborough and the parade went by, and I just welled with pride looking at those young people and thinking, when I was their age, there was nothing. And I'm one of the people who helped create something for them. So it makes me want to cry. It's awesome.
Garman shared that he has attended several Pride parades across the globe, and Saskatoon's does still hold a special place in his heart. Meanwhile, people gathered to remember victims of domestic violence on Saturday morning. March from Mount Royal Park to Saskatoon Police Headquarters was hosted. And the walk was intended to serve as both a memorial and a protest to remember those who have died from domestic violence and advocate for change.
It breaks my heart for these families, and us coming together, it only creates our message to be stronger, and we won't stop. And this is our message out there. These women out here, they're going to be heard. They're going to be heard from now on and from today and forever.
Natauhau represented one of 6 different families in attendance who have lost a loved one to domestic violence. Well, Daryl, rain did not stop people from flooding downtown Regina for, it's food truck wars.
Guess not. The 2-day event featured food trucks by local restaurants, live music, and more. Second straight year, the event has returned to the Warehouse District after a lengthy absence.
The goal is to have a vibrant downtown that we can be proud of and enjoy, and just seeing all these businesses, not just the food trucks, but also the business having foot traffic. People always complain about downtown being they don't go downtown anymore. But here's a good reason for you to go downtown.
About 12,000 people attended this year's event. The Edmonton Stingers beat the Saskatoon Mamba Sunday in a race to 105.
Boursier, Davis, driving, up high, got it!
Stanley Davis Jr. hit the game winner for Edmonton. The Stingers beat the Mamba 105-103. It's Saskatoon's second straight loss. They are back in action tomorrow in Winnipeg. Let's turn our attention to that morning view. My goodness, the rain just came down in sheets yesterday.
Yeah, a ton of rain yesterday. We also saw a confirmed tornado near Pelly, Saskatchewan. Another possible tornado that Environment Canada is investigating from yesterday, but not confirmed. This morning, though, things are looking better to wake you up in Regina. This morning view is brought to you by Stars Lottery. Your ticket funds life-saving care across Saskatchewan. Right now in Regina, we're at 13 degrees, a mix of sun and cloud. Winds very calm calm, coming in at 7 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, we have seen some more of that precipitation this morning. 15 degrees to wake you up with that rain, and winds currently coming in at 17 kilometers per hour. Here's a look at that radar and satellite showing you all that rain and storm activity that we saw yesterday. Mainly throughout the evening hours yesterday, it kind of lessened overnight in terms of the storm activity, but still seeing some of that rain. Current picture out there, we're seeing some of that storm activity up just northeast of Prince Albert. Other than that, we're seeing more so just rain throughout central Saskatchewan, extending up into the north into the afternoon hours. Not seeing quite as much down south for the early afternoon. We do see some pretty severe thunderstorm activity moving up from the United States, mainly impacting Manitoba starting this evening, but it does extend right over into the Estevan area there, as you can see. So a lot of that rain is going to be on the way throughout the evening and overnight hours in that southeast corner of the province. And then as we get into Tuesday, about 1:30 a.m., really seeing a lot of that thunderstorm activity impacting southeast Saskatchewan. So we're going to be prepared for a quite severe thunderstorm overnight into tomorrow morning. And again, for the coming days, just seeing on and off rain, on and off storm activity. Now, right now, by the end of the day, we're only seeing about 1 millimeter for areas around Swift Current and Saskatoon. You see that number currently sitting at 6 millimeters for Estevan. Again, we're projecting that more so into the later parts of the evening, though through Prince Albert, about 25 millimeters of rain. So the number really does shoot up right around Prince Albert there by the end of the day. But take a look by tomorrow afternoon, because that storm is going to be really impacting Manitoba. It's going to be straddling the Saskatchewan border there. By 3 p.m. tomorrow, Yorkton will have seen about 48 millimeters of rain. So be prepared for that in the Parkland region. Temperatures still below that seasonal average, but warmer as you look down towards the southeast. We're expecting about 22 for Regina today, 23 in Weyburn, 22 in Estevan, 24 in Yorkton, and about 19 degrees around Saskatoon, Prince Albert, and the Battlefords.
A reminder that June has been Alzheimer's and Brain Health Awareness Month. Researchers estimate that 42% of Americans over age 55 will eventually develop dementia. While some risk factors like genetics cannot be changed, others can. Here is Mandy Gaither with more.
It's a growing problem in the U.S. An aging population is expected to cause the number of new dementia cases diagnosed per year to double between 2020 and 2060, making prevention a top priority.
50% of dementia cases could be prevented or delayed.
Derek Salisbury with the University of Minnesota School of Nursing says a person's risk of dementia development is greatly impacted by 14 factors or lifestyle choices that can be changed, and 6 of them can be addressed by one thing: exercise. He says moving your body can prevent or delay dementia by cutting obesity, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, depression, high cholesterol, and physical inactivity.
If you are able to prevent the onset of dementia, you are able to live a life longer in quality years.
In the study, Salisbury and other researchers enrolled people 45 and older who were concerned about their memory and live in rural areas where it may be harder to access health care to take part in a telehealth exercise program.
We basically delivered a cycle, heart rate monitors, blood pressure cuffs, did a bunch of screening virtually for them.
After 3 months of exercise training, Salisbury says those who took part in the research showed improvements in aerobic fitness overall.
It's never too late to start.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
In case you missed it, NASA has made a sweet new discovery. A space satellite has found 2 planets with a density similar to that of cotton candy. The space agency is referring to them as super puffs. The planets got that name because they are about the size of Jupiter, but have less than 6% of its mass. Scientists are not sure exactly what they look like. These images are an artist's interpretation. The planets are more than 1,100 light years away.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go.
Super puffs. I like the name.
Yes, trademarkable.
They don't look puffy enough.
All right, brings us to our question of the day.
So this is a really fun one today. Actually, Director Corey came up with this one, so everybody has to answer. He's asking, what's on your favorite coffee mug?
Okay.
It's a very neat question. I like it.
Do we have a photo of Jeremy Dodges? This is JD. This is yours.
Yeah. This was a Father's Day gift a few years ago. Super Daddy-O. My kids' names. My son, the one-up mushroom. My daughter, the super mushroom. Big fan of this one.
That's really nice. I'm going to have to show later on in the show. I got Tyler a mug in his Father's Day gift this year, and it has a little picture of Tyler and Sadie on it. It's really cute.
Nice. Very nice.
To show that.
I don't drink coffee, so I have exactly 2 mugs. One says CTV Morning Live, and one says CTV or Morning Saskatchewan.
Sometimes I'll
That's the mug, Jeremy. I have one of those. Exactly one, because the company wouldn't give us more than one.
Sometimes I'll make Daryl a morning tea in a different mug because we just have so many random mugs at CTV. Like, every company will bring us a mug, and we just have every coffee mug that you could imagine. And sometimes I'll just make him a really fun tea in a super random mug and be like, you gonna put it on air?
Oh, nice. Might as well. Text us your favorite mug. We're going to keep it to coffee cups, that style of mug. Don't send me a picture of your little brother. Scan the QR code. We're back after this.
Comcast, just months after shedding most of its cable TV business, is cleaving itself into 2 companies, one housing its namesake cable and tech operations, the other comprising NBC Universal Media Biz. Under the proposed separation, announced on Monday, Comcast intends to make a tax-free spin-off of NBC Universal and Sky. After the transaction is completed, Comcast shareholders will own shares in both Comcast and NBC Universal. Developments of Canada's first offshore wind farms took a significant step forward late Friday when Nova Scotia's offshore energy regulator released the names of companies qualified to bid on seabed licenses. The companies, which can choose to remain unnamed, are from Canada, Belgium, China, Ireland, Luxembourg, Singapore, Switzerland, and South Korea, along with France. It may be 2035 before any farms are operational. Former Walt Disney Chief Executive Officer Bob Iger and Thrive Capital founder Joshua Kushner are discussing making a bid for the National Basketball Association's expansion team in Vegas. According to people familiar with their plans, the bid would be for a majority investment in the team. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Canada Day is Wednesday, and there are a lot of things to do right across the province, including here in Saskatoon. Mike Siona is teeing that up for us. Mike?
Well, you could probably guess what Wednesday is just based on what we're wearing. I'm here with Shad Ali getting all set up for Canada Day in Saskatoon, as only we do right here on the banks of the South Saskatchewan. Tell us about it.
You know, one of the most beautiful places on the planet, but certainly in our city to be, is down here at River Landing, and the amphitheater will be covered on this stage with cultural performances throughout the day. I think you're going to hear a little bit from Kiela at some point today. And then, of course, we want to represent that cultural mosaic that is our community, right? So Canada has definitely grown from what our Indigenous brothers and sisters laid the foundation for us. We will certainly have a smudge. And so if people haven't had a chance to participate in a smudge ceremony, we encourage them to come early. Everything starts down here at noon. They can participate in that. We'll have some Indigenous presentations early in the day. And then, of course, it usually follows at the end of the night with, you know what, Mike?
the fireworks. Now, in between the smudge and the fireworks, of course, will be a variety of stage presentations, entertainment, stuff for the kids, and I assume that the bridge is going to be lined with wall-to-wall food trucks?
Yeah, the traffic bridge will be closed to traffic because we will have that filled with food trucks of all kinds of variety. And then, of course, along Spadina Crescent here in River Landing, there will be a lot of bridge closures, and hopefully we can talk about that later on, but plenty for people to enjoy throughout the day indeed.
There you go. Bridge closures? We'll leave it at that. We're not going to say anything except that I don't mind when they close a bridge for food trucks. I'll say that. Canada Day celebrations on Wednesday here in Saskatoon. And as Shad said, he'll give us all the details on how to get down here later this morning.
Your school day forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, we're at 13 degrees, a mix of sun and cloud. Through Saskatoon, though, we have been seeing some rain this morning, 15 degrees right now. By lunchtime, 21 degrees. Still expecting to be seeing that sunshine in Regina. And we have a chance of some rain and risk of thunderstorm by final bell. Again, though, that chance is low. Could still be seeing that sunshine throughout the afternoon, 22 degrees. Higher chance of seeing that rain through Saskatoon, though, 18 degrees at lunch and up to 19 degrees with that risk of thunderstorms by the final bell. As we go to break, here's a look at your gas prices in Regina. The average price, $161.9. You might be able to find it for as low as $146.9. In Saskatoon, the average price is $162.9, and you might be able to find it for as low as $154.9. In the farm markets today, the street price of canola is sitting at $692.55 per ton. The futures price, $737.20 per ton. Amber durum wheat now at $285.20 per ton, and red spring wheat $272.05 per ton. The Canadian dollar is up. It's now at 70.49 cents US.
Say 6:30. Welcome to your morning, Saskatchewan. Let's get to news. Saskatchewan Marshals Service, a police agency separate from the RCMP, First Nations, and other municipal forces, is the first of its kind in the province, as you know. Fully operational as of spring of 2025. The Marshals focus on a few specific types of crime involving tracking down prolific offenders, investigating cases from correctional facilities, and more.
We spend a lot of time and looking on and developing our techniques to locate people, working with our policing partners, working with different agencies to be able to locate people, but also just doing that on the ground police work and talking to folks and finding out where somebody might be.
Service does not provide direct response to 911 calls, but rather works in conjunction with police forces in Saskatoon, Regina, Prince Albert, and North Battleford. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre wants the House Ethics Committee to look into Ottawa's plan to buy unsold condos in BC.
Who asked for this? Who lobbied for this? And who is benefiting from putting these condo losses on the backs of hardworking taxpayers?
Prime Minister Mark Carney announced a plan earlier this month to buy 2,200 unsold condos in BC. These units would then be converted into affordable rent-to-own units. In a letter to the House Ethics Committee, Poilievre called the plan a bailout. Prime Minister Mark Carney has said no developer asked for this from him directly. BC's Premier also suggested the plan may not move forward. After both sides traded fire near the Strait of Hormuz, U.S. officials say the U.S. and Iran have agreed to stand down for now, with diplomatic talks still moving forward on Tuesday in Doha. Traffic through the Strait of Hormuz is still well below what it was before the conflict. Shipping companies are also facing confusion over who to follow as different countries and different authorities try to manage vessel traffic. Iran's foreign minister says the waterway remains under Tehran's exclusive management. The Tuesday talks were originally scheduled for Switzerland and focused on Iran's nuclear program, but renewed tensions in the strait prompted a change of venue to Doha, shifting to discussion towards shipping strategy in the security in the waterway. One of the original Saskatchewan government air ambulance planes from the 1950s has returned to its former base in Regina. The plane has been completely restored and arrived to mark the 80th anniversary of the Regina Aviation Company. Wayne Mantika reports.
This vintage Cessna 195 flew hundreds of life-saving missions throughout Saskatchewan in the 1950s and 60s. Later, it ended up derelict in Alberta until purchased for restoration.
And with it came all of the spare parts from the Saskatchewan Air Ambulance Service. And this airplane was wrecked, but it was all the parts were there.
The aviation enthusiast spent 30 years rebuilding the plane in his spare time. The aircraft flew back to its former Regina hangar on the weekend, now occupied by Prairie Flying Service.
That flew for the Saskatchewan Air Ambulance back in the 50s. So it is the first time it's come home since that period of time.
Saskatchewan's Air Ambulance Service was founded by the Douglas government in 1948 to bring emergency assistance to rural and remote areas.
They have never lost a patient or a crew member due to an accident. They were doing what STARS does 70 years ago. It's amazing.
The return of the air ambulance was part of a celebration marking the 80th anniversary of Prairie Flying Service.
My father was one of the founders. They started their business in 1946. I came on the scene in 1953 and was actually a pilot here starting in the early 70s.
The anniversary celebration was marked by a torrential downpour. Jeffrey Straker was performing for guests when water began gushing in.
It got a foot from the stage, so that was pretty intense. I've never seen anything like this, and I've made music as my full-time living. I've toured for 19 years, and I have never seen this. So,
guests scrambled to push back the flow.
To have a torrential downpour like that, I don't know what that means for an 80th anniversary, but it must be something for one way for us to end our celebration today.
It's proof that an 80-year-old company can weather the storm. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
Wow. The Saskatchewan Roughriders may have lost on Friday, but despite the result, a dream fulfilled for two rookies, including one who grew up cheering for the team. Donovan Mace reports.
For Daniel Wiebe, wearing the green and white is everything he fantasized about as a kid in Rosetown. But finding the end zone in his first career CFL game is a dream come true.
I've been dreaming of these moments since a kid, and to be able to do it with the Riders, it means everything, being a hometown kid. So, yeah, extremely exciting.
The University of Saskatchewan product thrust into action to replace an injured Sam Emilis. Wiebe stepping up. While he only made 2 catches, he made them count, providing a much-needed boost to a banged-up Riders offense.
It's kind of everything I imagined and more at the same time. It still hasn't really set in. It's kind of crazy to just be thinking about.
We know what that means to that kid and what it means to us, honestly. He just works his tail off. He sparked and gave us some juice.
Riders rookies making an impact all over the field. Like Conley also playing in his first CFL game, also finding the end zone for his first career touchdown.
I'm just grateful. I'm just glad I'm here and excited. There's always somebody that wished they was in my position, and I feel like I'm grateful that I'm just here and playing football. Making the moments count with the lights at their brightest.
Mims did a great job. Daniel Wiebe, stud, as we talked about in training camp. Q did a great job in the backfield, had some explosive runs, and got a nice touchdown there.
I want to be helping out the team as much as I possibly can, and to be able to be putting points on the board means a lot. It takes everyone. That doesn't happen without the other guys doing their job.
Donovan Mace, CTV News, Regina.
Get over to the Weather Center. Kayleen Sawatsky, the question everybody wants to know is rain, when will it go away?
Well, we actually have a chance of having a sunny day today here in Regina. We are seeing a lot of rain in other places in the province, specifically through the central zone. Right around Prince Albert is where we're going to be seeing a lot of that rain today. Down through the southeast corner, though, also going to be seeing some rain just later on into the evening hours. 13 degrees right now to wake you up in Regina. A mix of sun and cloud and winds coming in at 7 kilometers per hour. A bit more of a damp morning in Saskatoon. We have been seeing that rain throughout the evening yesterday, throughout overnight, and into this morning as well. 15 degrees to wake you up, and winds coming in at 17 kilometers per hour. Let's take a look at current temperatures across the province now. 15 degrees in Stony Rapids, 16 degrees in Buffalo Narrows, and 18 degrees in La Ronge. Again, a lot of that green color extending across the province. A little bit of that blue, though, down in the southwest corner, right around East End, where we are seeing some cooler temperatures. 9 degrees, not quite into double digits yet. 11 in Swift Current, Moose Jaw, and Assiniboia. 14 degrees in Yorkton, and 12 degrees to wake you up in Estevan. Winds throughout the afternoon are going to be remaining very low. We're seeing a lot of these numbers staying below 20 kilometers per hour. So we'll enjoy that day with very low wind speeds. The highest we're seeing right around North Battleford and Prince Albert, just barely surpassing 30 kilometers per hour with those gusts. Today's forecast into the afternoon showing temperatures below the seasonal average, but not by much, especially down through the southeast corner of the province. 22 for Estevan, 23 in Weyburn, and 22 for Regina. Again, these are all the places that are least likely to be seeing the rain throughout the early afternoon, but into the later afternoon and early evening could be seeing some light precipitation. Higher chance, though, right around Saskatoon, Prince Albert, and the Battlefords for seeing that rain, and the risk of the thunderstorms today. 19 degrees as the high for all of those places. Again, the risk exists for some thunderstorms later on this evening for Regina, but the chance does remain low. It could be entirely possible that we are just going to have a nice sunshine day today. 19 degrees on Tuesday, 21 on Wednesday, 23 on Thursday, and 24 on Friday. Of course, as you can see, though, we are seeing the risk of a thunderstorm persisting throughout the rest of our work week. The chance does go down, though, on Wednesday as well. And the weekend is looking sunnier for us here in the Queen City. In Saskatoon, again, seeing that risk of a thunderstorm persist throughout the rest of our work week. Saturday, getting a bit of a break in the afternoon. So that'll be a nice break for your weekend. It does return, though, in the evening hours, and the rain persisting on Sunday afternoon. All right, it's time for your Monday morning weather or not. Today's a bit of a fun one. We're asking you today, what is the average speed of a falling raindrop? Is it 2 kilometers per hour, 7.5 kilometers per hour, 12 kilometers per hour, 18.5 kilometers per hour, or 22.5 kilometers per hour?
These all seem so low, don't they, Jeremy?
Man, yeah, I mean, you're falling, right?
Yeah.
But how heavy are these drops?
Right.
I'm going to say D.
You're going to go D?
18.5.
2 seems too low, and 22 seems way too high, probably, based on these numbers. I'm going to go right in the middle at 12, Kayleen.
All right, the correct answer is 22.5 kilometers per hour.
Holy.
An average-sized raindrop falls at that average speed, while large raindrops could fall at a speed of 32 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, they were falling very fast yesterday.
Yeah, they sure were.
Boy, rain, go away.
Hello, Nikki Reyes with you inside the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. For that, we'll head to the CFL. Red Blacks taking on the Alouettes. First quarter, Davis Alexander from midfield breaks out of the pocket and airs one out deep to Alexander Hollins. He comes up with a huge diving catch for the touchdown, a 53-yard bomb for 6 points. His first major of the season is a beauty and earns your must-see moment from Sunday. Today on TSN, we've got a full slate of action from the 2026 FIFA World Cup with a round of 32, starting with Brazil taking on Japan. It all starts at 12:45 p.m. Eastern across the TSN network. That's all from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a great day.
A complicated, never-before-attempted rescue mission in space. It's all to save a telescope that really just needs a boost. Here's Sophie Flay.
It's a $30 million gamble to save a $500 million telescope.
Nothing like this has ever been flown before.
The Swift telescope has been scanning the cosmos for decades, capturing some of the biggest explosions in the universe, like supernovas. But it's now set to crash back down to Earth this fall because of intense solar activity dragging it down. Without help, it will meet fiery fate in Earth's atmosphere. So NASA is turning to a first-of-its-kind fix. It's hired a startup company called Catalyst Space to build a 3-armed robot to come to the rescue. It's called Link. It will launch as soon as tomorrow over the Pacific. The mission? Chase down the telescope, grab it, and give it a giant boost to raise it to a higher, safer orbit.
It has tremendous amounts of maneuverability, robotic arms to be able to grip onto the frame of a satellite, to be able to push this multi-ton, $500 million satellite back up higher in altitude.
The mission came together fast, only 9 months from contract to launch. There's no guarantee it will be successful.
A traditional aerospace program like this might take 5 years. And so our job was to put a shot on goal.
The Swift telescope may just be the start. The Hubble telescope is also losing altitude. Catalyst says its next generation robot could one day save Hubble.
We as a country have been very good at putting things into space. We have companies like SpaceX that are building rockets. But if we're really going to unlock what comes next in space, we have to get good at doing things in space.
If the mission is successful, the Swift telescope could be back studying the stars by September. Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
All right, let's head out to Moose Jaw now and check in with Janelle Lipai, teeing up some Canada Day excitement. Janelle, good morning.
Hi, Jeremy. Good morning. That's right. Canada Day is coming up, and with that comes the beautiful fireworks display. So we're in Moose Jaw learning all about what we can look forward to. I've got 2 Scots here with me. We're going to talk all about the excitement coming up. Let's start off with a little bit on how you guys have kept going this long, because this is a staple event here at Moose Jaw.
Yeah, this is a big deal for the Kinsman Club here. We've been our sponsor. It's been the major sponsor for a number of years, and it's one of our big givebacks, right? So we do a lot of fundraising events in the city, and the city supports us huge all the time, and this is one of the things that we can do to give back to the community.
All right, and let's talk a little bit about that community support. How have you seen things really expand over the years, and how we've got to this day coming up on Wednesday?
Yeah, the community of Moose Jaw has been great to us. Every year we keep going back to them, and they come back huge for us. So being able to do something like this to give back to the community is really nice, and nice to see lots of kids and lots of people out enjoying it.
All right, so Wednesday, of course, is coming up very soon. How can people be a part of this?
Perfect. So it's Wednesday night. We say about 10 o'clock, kind of when it gets dark is when we'll start. It's held on the Hamilton Flats in Moose Jaw on the west end of the city. And no parking on the flats, but all the arterial streets and everything around.
All right.
Yeah.
And without giving too much away, of course, what can we look forward to?
Bigger and better this year. We got some help from the federal government in the form of a grant this year. Reached out and did that. So put a little extra money in, so we should have a great show this year. We're excited.
All right. Well, thank you both so much. This is great information. Once again, that is Canada Day coming up on this Wednesday. You can come check things out at the Ball Diamond here and enjoy some nice fireworks.
Right on. Janelle, thank you very much. We'll check back in with you next hour.
It's June 29th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a belated anniversary wish. Ron and Sally Matt marked their 40th wedding anniversary on June 27th. Congratulations, you two. We hope the day was filled with love. A belated happy birthday wish going out to Jerome, who is now 12 years old. We hope you had an awesome birthday with love from your granny. A big happy birthday going out to Rachel. She's turning 14 years old today. We hope you have a great day with love from your family. And turning 8 years old today is Kendall. Happy birthday to you. We hope it's your best birthday yet. Enjoy. We're also sending happy birthday wishes out to Claire for her 6th birthday today. Have a great day, Claire, with love from your grandma and grandpa Sawatsky. And another 6th birthday to celebrate. Happy birthday to Dottie. Your grandma and grandpa Lang are sending you so much love for your special day. Enjoy. And a couple graduation photos to share with you. Congratulations to Olivia with love from your mom and dad. And congratulations to Brayden on finishing grade 12 with love from your mom, dad, Cohen, Grayson, and Sophia. And finally, on June 29th, 1991, this beautiful couple said their I do's, and 35 years later, they're still celebrating that love. Congratulations.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
What's going on the radio today, Chase?
I missed the start of the celebrations. Do we have your picture up there, Daryl? Happy birthday, sir.
Thank you. I get enough attention. What's going on the radio?
I was just going to talk about your birthday for pretty much the entire show, but we're also asking some silver linings of all of that rain over the weekend. Yes, there was some flooding issues, but there are some good things out there too, and that's what we want to hear about. You can text over to 54321. I know some people were saying cleaned out the eaves, then they didn't have to do it, or you were stuck inside and maybe you got that cleaning done that you had been just pushing off for months and months already. So what was the silver lining of all of that rain? You can text 54321. Remember, too, it is your last week to get in for the Lasso Music Festival in Montreal. Just be listening for 10 minutes with the iHeartRadio app, and we're going to be doing that draw coming up next week.
All right, appreciate you. We'll talk soon.
We'll see you next hour.
Try to stay calm, Jesse.
I'm the definition of calm.
Toy Story 5 picked up another $70 million in its second weekend, topping the box office after making the strongest debut of the year last weekend.
This does not look like this is going to end well for you guys.
Supergirl was this weekend's big new release, but only managed to collect $38 million, below what Warner Brothers had been hoping for.
I wish Nikki Freeman loved me more than anyone in the entire world.
And the low-budget horror hit Obsession took in just under $10 million, 7 weeks into its run.
Just have all these songs in my head. Just gotta get them out.
In other box office news, Michael, the Michael Jackson biopic, has now surpassed 2023's Oppenheimer as the highest-grossing biopic of all time. The film has raked in $977 million since its debut in April. And happy birthday to actress Camila Mendes, best known for her 7-season run on Riverdale. She also appeared in this year's Masters of the Universe movie. Mendes is 32. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Lionel Moise, ABC News.
JD, what do you got for us this morning?
Well, being an artist means coming up with creative ideas like this.
I guess we never really moved on. It's really good to hear your voice saying my name. It sounds so
Yeah,
that's weird.
Watch as she sings. Not quite what it seems, right? That's a mouth painted onto her nose. She's doing Lips of an Angel by Hinder, of course.
It's one of my favorite bands, and they actually blocked me on Twitter.
Really? Why?
Yeah, they changed lead singers, and I said that the new album wasn't quite what the old ones were, and thick-skinned rock and rollers, thick-skinned rock and rollers.
They blocked you.
They blocked me. Yeah, that's.
Ouch.
I'm sure there are more out there. That's just one I know.
Ouch.
It's just one that I know. Here's special meeting that was generations in the making.
It's good. Well, now I can kind of see her little eyes are open. Yeah. And she's waving her little arms. Okay. She's kind of long, so she's going to be tall. Like
5 generations, to be exact. This 103-year-old woman is meeting and holding her 1-month-old great-great-granddaughter for the very first time. She comments on the baby's eye color and length, and it's been so long since she's held a baby.
That's so sweet. And so lucky that the family has so many generations to hold future ones.
That's a photo you hold on to. Time out. We're back after this.
Yeah, say hi, Juno.
Did you ever think you'd meet your great-great-granddaughter?
We took a policy that we were implementing on a global basis that we believed we had to put in place to keep America strong.
It's Monday, June 29th. What will the future of North American trade look like? A new course could start 2 days from now as CUSMA reaches its review deadline. Is fading fast, but crews are still working day and night in Venezuela in search of earthquake survivors.
Forcier, Davis, driving, up high, got it!
Not a heartbreaker for the Saskatoon Mamba. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. It's June 29th, and that means it is Daryl's birthday.
That's right. We celebrated over the weekend with Mateo at his very first Rough Rider game. Remember I told you his subdued reaction? So this is fan for life type stuff. Ariel and the team hooked him up with some end zone passes, met Tommy Stevens. Very excited about Gaynor the Gopher, of course.
Of course.
Who was on this show last week, and Janelle was more excited than my boy. And he also got to hang out with some cheerleaders. My dad texted me, you never took me to see the cheerleaders.
Well, Mateo's a lucky kid.
Maybe if you're cuter like this little fella, yeah, he had a great time.
Absolutely. And if you're wondering at home, how old is Daryl Rummel now? The answer is old enough to be tricked by AI, because you just got tricked by an AI photo in the commercial break.
Yeah, it's all falling apart. It's all downhill from here, folks. You heard it here first. 7:01. Let's get to news. We begin with crews working around the clock, in Venezuela in hopes of finding survivors from last week's back-to-back earthquakes. At least 1,450 people have died in the quakes. That number is expected to rise. Rescue teams have arrived from around the world, focusing on the hardest hit areas north of Caracas. Crews are now facing a shortage of heavy machinery needed to lift the rubble. Experts say the first 72 hours are critical for finding survivors. It's now been more than 4 days since the earthquakes hit on Wednesday, but there is still moments of hope. This was the moment rescue crews pulled a 9-month-old baby out of the rubble along with his mother. Both survived with minor injuries. Crews say at this point anyone pulled from the rubble alive would be considered a miracle rescue. A number of areas of Regina, especially the north end, experienced flooding due to heavy rain this weekend. Experts say about 20 millimeters of rain fell. Take a look at your screen. The water was up to the knees of some residents. A few basements, as you can imagine, were flooded. The Cathedral neighborhood also battled backups caused by heavy rain. And naturally, it wouldn't be rain in Regina without someone getting their car flooded in the underpass on Albert Street. There it is.
That's a tornado! Look, it's a tornado!
Environment and Climate Change Canada has confirmed a tornado near Pelly, Saskatchewan on Sunday. The storm downed trees and appeared to damage the roof of at least one home. We are expecting to learn more later today. The video you saw is courtesy of a Facebook page called Bill's Interesting Things. Regina police took one person into custody after a weapons call over the weekend. This one happened yesterday, 3 o'clock in the afternoon in the area of 12th Avenue and Wallace Street. Police told people to avoid the area, and 90 minutes later, the matter was resolved. No names have been released, no charges officially laid. Officers say the investigation is ongoing. The Canadian men will play their first ever round of 16 match in Houston, Texas, after an incredible finish to the first ever knockout round against South Africa yesterday.
This is dropping nicely. It's the
A massive cheer went up across the country. See, I just feel like I have to do that, right? I've heard enough of this. Scudo, whatever his name is, he's a superstar now in Canada. Back of the net, 92nd minute in stoppage time. That goal sealed the win for Canada.
We worked a lot to get this victory. We really wanted to give this win to all the Canadians. And we just kept believing, we kept pushing. And I think we couldn't have imagined it any other way. I think it was an amazing goal. But when I shot, I felt that everybody shot with me. Everybody put a little bit of power on it, and it went into the back of the net, so I'm very happy.
Estacchio, I guess, is the fella's name. Canada will face either the Netherlands or Morocco, who will square off in Guadalupe, Mexico at 7 p.m. tonight. The other two matches today will see Japan and Brazil battle in Houston at 11 this morning. That'll be a good one. While Germany and Paraguay take to the pitch at 2:30. You can stream all of the games on TSN or TSN+. The Saskatchewan NDP addressed Bill 137 ahead of the Pride Parade in Saskatoon. The bill introduced in 2023, this is the Parental Bill of Rights, mandates that teachers inform received consent from parents if they wish to use a different name or pronoun they use at school. Various organizations have criticized the bill, with many expressing the belief that it will be harmful.
children in our schools, those are safe spaces for kids. And a lot of times, that's the first place that they kind of are able to express who they are. And I think teachers, for so long have been able to treat that situation with a lot of grace and a lot of kindness and ensuring that, proper communication is being made with parents, but really it's about a safe home environment. Not all kids are able to express who they are.
CTV reached out to the province for comment. Nothing there yet. Jeremy, the Pride Parade over the weekend. Take us through some of the history.
Yeah, Daryl, it drew in thousands of people to the downtown yesterday. But one longtime advocate shared with CTV what Pride celebrations were like before the days of the parade. Hallie Mandrick has his story.
Pride in Saskatoon was not always the colorful parade that it looks like now. Bruce Garman remembers when Pride was limited to one building.
And back in those days, if you had an identity as being a homosexual, as being a lesbian, that was a medical or a criminal identity, and that was that.
The Zodiac Friendship Society, one of Saskatoon's first official organizations for LGBTQ2S+ people, was created in 1972, and the following year, it found a home called the Gemini Club. Garman says it was one of the few spaces where those in the community could feel safe.
There were many people who were thrown out of their homes. Often people came to their true nature after they were married. Marriages ended. They were kept from seeing their children. I mean, it was a grim time.
Now, more than 5 decades after the inception of one of the first public safe spaces for LGBTQ2S+ people, the annual Pride Parade has grown into an event that draws thousands of people to Saskatoon's downtown. And the community's next generation hasn't forgotten its roots.
I think it matters so much to know where we are coming from and what we are building towards, and to see that people have been able to thrive under things that have been rough, and that our community is truly a family.
The co-chair of Saskatoon Pride says the parade serves as an annual reminder that visibility can make a big difference for those who are feeling alone.
A lot of the time it is rough to be trans in Saskatchewan, but there's such a huge community of queer folks and allies that are here for us. And it's beautiful to see how much love we have in this city.
Garman adding that his first time watching the parade was an emotional experience.
I stood by the Besborough and the parade went by, and I just welled with pride looking at those young people and thinking, when I was their age, there was nothing. And I'm one of the people who helped create something for them. So that, it makes me want to cry. It's awesome.
Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Well, Daryl, Saskatoon Mamba back in action yesterday.
Fell in the race to 105 to Edmonton. Jeremy.
Boursier, Davis, driving, up high, got it! Stingers win!
Stanley Davis Jr. hit the game winner for Edmonton. The Stingers win 105-103. Saskatoon's second straight loss. They are back in action tomorrow in Winnipeg. Let's get to the Weather Center. A lot of rain over the weekend. Do we have some totals out there?
We don't have official totals yet, but if you have any from your backyard rain gauge, we would love to see your totals. Of course, we're still waiting on Environment Canada to talk to us about the official numbers from over the weekend, but it was quite a bit of rain. We're also going to be seeing a lot more rain in the coming days. We are seeing rain and risk of thunderstorms in the 7-day forecast for both Regina and Saskatoon until the end of your work week. Today, though, the risk comes in later for Regina, later on into the afternoon and early evening hours. Before that, though, we're seeing a very beautiful day to start. We're at 15 degrees in Regina. We have some winds coming in at 7 kilometers per hour. A little bit more damp through Saskatoon today. We're at 14 degrees right now with that rain to start, and winds coming in at 20 kilometers per hour. We are expecting that rain to be continuing on through parts of the day in Saskatoon. And yes, that does escalate a bit in the afternoon to a risk of a thunderstorm as well. We can see where where we saw that thunderstorm activity yesterday, of course, quite a bit throughout the early evening hours in the province. And then it did lessen in terms of the storm activity overnight, but we did continue to see that rain still falling. Early this morning, still seeing some of that right around Prince Albert and Saskatoon, as you just saw on the camera there. Into the later parts of the afternoon, we do see some of it trying to extend down to the south. Swift current could be seeing some of that rain. Regina, as I mentioned, it's a less chance of seeing that rain today, but it does still exist. So we're going to warn you about it. Into the evening hours, we're going to start seeing more of that rain popping up through the southeast corner of the province. And into overnight and tomorrow, Manitoba is going to be seeing a lot of severe storms. And that is going to be straddling that border with us here in Saskatchewan as well. So we're going to be prepared for that. Again, the risk of thunderstorms extending all the way through until Friday. Here's a look at those totals that we are expecting by about 12:30, so just past midnight. Prince Albert will have seen about 14 millimeters of rain, about 3 for Yorkton, about 13 for Estevan. Again, most of that is going to be falling in the evening hours down through the southeast corner. But watch how these numbers jump as we look forward to tomorrow afternoon. This is at about 3 p.m. Up to 23 millimeters now expected for Yorkton, up to 28 for Prince Albert, up to 10 for Swift Current. And again, all those deep purple colors that you're seeing over in Manitoba means that they are going to be seeing some pretty severe storms in the coming days. Temperature is going to be below the seasonal average once again today, a little bit warmer through the southeast corner of the province today, with Regina peaking at 22 and Saskatoon peaking at 19. Time now for a look at our rural forecast. We are seeing more rain in the forecast today. 18 degrees for Spiritwood with that rain. A risk of thunderstorms in Watrous, 19 degrees, and 22 degrees in Wynyard with a little bit of that rain and a little bit of the sunshine too. Down in the south, more of the same. Some rain for East End, up to 14 degrees. 22 degrees for Assiniboia with that mix of sun and cloud. 22 degrees for Pilot Butte. Into the later parts of the afternoon, we see a risk of some more thunderstorms moving in, and 22 degrees for Carlisle with a little bit of that rain. Let's take a look at Wapella, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. 23 degrees this afternoon, a risk of those thunderstorms, and the southeast winds remaining low, only coming in up to 20 kilometers per hour.
Hello, Nikki Reyes with you inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. For that, we'll head to the CFL. Red Blacks taking on the Alouettes. First quarter, Davis Alexander from midfield breaks out of the pocket and airs one out deep to Alexander Hollins. He comes up with a huge diving catch for the touchdown, a 53-yard bomb for 6 points. His first major of the season is a beauty and earns your must-see moment from Sunday. Today on TSN, we've got a full slate of action from the 2026 FIFA World Cup with a round of 32, starting with Brazil taking on Japan. It all starts at 12:45 p.m. Eastern across the TSN network. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
Been a lot of baseball to watch of late because of all this rain. A lot of washouts happening, but not at this ballpark. Stadiums where you're allowed to bring your dog in. This guy got a special little treat, a little hot dog.
That's so cute.
And that other dog really desperately wants some hot dog. Why don't you share with everybody, folks?
The ears are perking up, like, please.
I'm over here. I'm right here. I can see you feeding him.
Well, now I'm feeling sad for the dog that didn't get a hot dog.
I know you can see me. I am right here.
Oh. So today we're asking you, what's on your favorite coffee mug? Mine is usually lipstick.
So much.
So much lipstick.
Yeah.
At least we never mix up mugs.
Yeah. We did get a few photos, though, that are great. This one coming in from Rod and Tanya, and they said
Nice.
it always tastes sweeter out of these mugs with your family. I love that one. We had this one coming in from Kelly in Bigger, saying, me, crazy? I should get off my unicorn and slap you. And Wonderful Grandma. Some nice cups there. Inhale, exhale. You can see us in the background there, too.
Oh, there we are. Hello. Hi. My mom went to Vegas once. She loved to see the Elvis shows. There was a performer who goes by Fat Elvis. She bought the mug. It was like way too much money, like $25. Then she pulls a mug out of the dishwasher one day. She's like, what's this white mug? Why do we just have a white mug? Oh, no. She wanted a refund in the worst way.
Oh, no.
Wanted a refund.
We saw Rod and Tanya's there, but Ronald saying, so my favorite coffee mug says fill to this line. And a couple other answers that we had potentially coming in. There we go. Here, Debbie saying my favorite coffee mug is simple. It's given to me by my bestie.
Okay.
And Michelle B is saying favorite mug is a new pottery one that I just bought. It's pink and white. And happy birthday to Sadie and Daryl.
Oh, there you go. Thank you very much, Michelle.
Nice.
Michelle also would like you to take your bikes out of my office.
Well, they are out of your office. They're down the hall now.
We wheeled them down the hall. The tires are flat. You should work on that. Scan the QR code. We're back with your morning mystery.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
All right, let's go back out and get set for Canada Day with Mike Siona. Mike.
Well, hanging out at River Landing Amphitheatre with Shad Ali ahead of Canada Day, which of course is on Wednesday, July 1st, as it is every year. It's not always on a Wednesday, but it is always on July 1st. And it seems like construction is always an issue. Getting down here to this site, especially this year, could be a challenge, but you've got the tips.
Oh yeah, you know, it's really easy. Walk, ride the bus, or ride your bike and come down here. We will have a complimentary bike valet. It'll be easy to find. They have lots of volunteers, handle lots of bikes. So I really encourage people to do that. It'll be your fastest way of getting down and getting out, because certainly, as we know, University Bridge is close to some construction. Traffic Bridge will be closed because we have all that amazing food that's on there. And so you can come across on the Broadway Bridge. You can take Circle Drive and come around the other way, of course. But, you know, when you get down here, there is so much for people to do, including, of course, the amazing fireworks at 10:30 at night.
Yeah, no doubt. It's going to be tremendous. It's going to be the toughest fireworks show to put on this close to the summer solstice, because you got to wait till it gets dark. But it gives us more opportunity to celebrate Canada and the multicultural mosaic, which is really what it's all about.
Yeah, we'll have cultural performances on the amphitheater stage. We'll have multicultural food. Again, there's lots for people to come down and enjoy. What we do want to remind people, though, is to stay away from the river, come a little bit closer up to where the entertainment is. We want everybody to be safe when they come down here and have an amazing Canada Day on July 1st.
Perfect. And what's the website?
CanadaDaySaskatoon.ca.
I never can remember, so I thought I'd ask the expert himself. Jeff, we're going to trade you out, and we are going to get a little sneak peek of that cultural component a little later this morning.
Time for your morning mystery. Apparently it's a thing. We're going to take a look at our clues. We got 3 of them. This highway network is almost 13,000 kilometers long. Clue number 2, there are emergency telephones every 2 kilometers if you need to call for assistance. And parts of this network are famous for not having a speed limit. That changes my answer.
Oh.
Because Route 66 had a birthday over the weekend, and I thought,
yeah, we were talking about how Route 66 had a birthday, so we were like, oh, this is definitely going to be Route 66.
But no speed limit.
Does Route 66 have a speed limit the whole way?
That's what gives it away.
No, I'm going to go to a different country. I think no speed limit is going to be it.
I was going to go with Route 66.
Autobahn?
Now I'm going with a sad face. What is that?
The Autobahn? No, it's the most famous highway and one of the most famous highways in the world. It has no speed limit. That's why it's famous. I don't know the other 2 clues. It's in Germany. You matched the painting that you made very perfectly. It is the Autobahn. Well, happy birthday anyway to Route 66. It's like 80 years old. That's your morning mystery.
Comcast, just months after shedding most of its cable TV business, is cleaving itself into two companies, one housing its namesake cable and tech operations, the other comprising NBC Universal Media Biz. Under the proposed separation, announced on Monday, Comcast intends to make a tax-free spin-off of NBC Universal and Sky. After the transaction is completed, Comcast shareholders will own shares in both Comcast and NBC Universal. Developments of Canada's first offshore wind farms took a significant step forward late Friday when Nova Scotia's offshore energy regulator released the names of companies qualified to bid on seabed licenses. The companies, which can choose to remain unnamed, are from Canada, Belgium, China, Ireland, Luxembourg, Singapore, Switzerland, and South Korea, along with France. It may be 2035 before any farms are operational. Former Walt Disney Chief Executive Officer Bob Iger and Thrive Capital founder Joshua Kushner are discussing making a bid for the National Basketball Association's expansion team in Vegas. According to people familiar with their plans, the bid would be for a majority investment in the team. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Your school day forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zones safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina or Saskatoon, we are at 15 degrees in both cities. However, Saskatoon seeing more of that precipitation. Grab an umbrella on your way out the door. By lunchtime in Regina, we still should be seeing that sunshine, 21 degrees. 18 degrees by lunch in Saskatoon, still expecting to be seeing some of that rain falling. And the risk of some thunderstorms going up for both cities into the later parts of the afternoon. 22 degrees by final bell in Regina and 19 degrees by final bell in Saskatoon. However, the chance of seeing that rain and risk of thunderstorms still higher through Saskatoon, a lot lower through Regina. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. The average price, 161.9. You might be able to find it for as low as 146.9. In Saskatoon, the average price, 162.9. You might be able to find it for as low as 154.9. And as we turn to the farm markets now, we find the street price of canola at $692.55 per ton. The futures price, $737.20 per ton. Amber durum wheat now at $285.20 per ton, and red spring wheat $272.05 per ton. And the Canadian dollar is up. It's now at 70.49 cents US. Coming up, despite a rider loss, some homegrown talent making a big impact. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the big show. It is 7:29. Political parties appear to be stepping into the AI realm. Recently, the Conservative Party of Canada posted an ad using generative AI. CTV senior political correspondent Mike LeCouture on why some are warning more guardrails are needed.
We haven't eaten today.
Yeah, we're only technically hungry, though.
It's the latest Conservative attack ad, and it's made mostly with generative artificial intelligence. The ad is bookended with real TV clips, but the punchline is a play off Canada's economy being in a technical recession.
Only technically homeless.
They want to figure out what that line is.
Elizabeth Dubois specializes in political uses of AI at the University of Ottawa. She thinks political parties are testing the limits of the technology.
But I also think we're in for a bit of a reckoning with, what is appropriate and what isn't appropriate. There's a lot where we don't have good, strong social norms around these uses yet.
Labeling is one of those things experts hope becomes the norm. In the Conservatives' case, there is one at the bottom right of the screen. In a statement, the party's director of communications said, like many organizations, the CPC is exploring responsible ways to use AI to enhance its communications, adding it was created by Canadians who work in digital content.
Everywhere I go, they love Donald Trump.
The U.S. president has become famous for reposting generative AI videos. A 2025 study by the Social Media Lab at Toronto Metropolitan University showed 59% of Canadians say they no longer fully trust political news online because of possible AI manipulation.
If we do this survey this year, the number would be even higher, simply because of the prevalence of generative AI content online.
Nonpartisan civic organizations are also using AI. Build Canada created this ad calling on all governments to deliver on their promises, telling CTV News AI is part of their experimentation with various communication methods. In the political arena, former operatives believe safeguards must be in place for the next election.
And if there are not rules established, then we will see a level of disinformation and abuse that we have literally never seen before.
The recently tabled Safe Social Media Act would require social media companies to label synthetically generated content on their platforms. It says nothing about political parties having to do so, despite a recommendation by Canada's chief electoral officer 2 years ago. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre, meantime, wants the House Ethics Committee to look into Ottawa's plan to buy unsold condos in BC.
Who asked for this? Who lobbied for this? And who is benefiting from putting these condo losses on the backs of hardworking taxpayers?
Prime Minister Mark Carney announced a plan earlier this month to buy 2,200 unsold condos in BC. Now, those units would then be converted into affordable rent-to-own units. In a letter to the House Ethics Committee, Poilievre called it a bailout plan. The Prime Minister has said no developer has asked for this from him directly. BC's Premier also suggested the plan may not move forward. The U.S. and Iran have agreed to stand down after an exchange of fire in recent days. It comes after several attacks on the Strait of Hormuz, resulting in both sides accusing each other of violating the ceasefire. U.S. officials have reportedly said vessels will be able to move through the strait freely, and more talks aimed at ending the war will continue. Iran hasn't commented on the reports. It's agreed to halt its strikes on the strait. There are also reports talks could resume in Doha tomorrow. Russian President Vladimir Putin says the country is experiencing fuel shortages after Ukrainian drones set fire to a major oil refinery in the south. Ukraine has been stepping up its long-range attacks on Russian military and energy facilities in recent months, aiming to reduce resources available to Russia as they continue their invasion of Ukraine. The latest wave of strikes has brought widespread fuel shortages and long lines at the pumps countrywide, prompting certain areas to introduce fuel rationing. The oil facility hit was one of Russia's major refineries, processing nearly 100,000 barrels of oil a day. People are trying to keep cool any way they can during record-breaking heat in Europe. That's how they're doing it in Czechia. Fire trucks used to spray water in areas where temperatures in Prague hit about record 41.1 degrees yesterday. There is a red heat alert in place in Croatia this morning. The heat is also causing concern about spreading wildfires. In France, there have been 1,000 excess deaths reported related to the heat. Officials say most of the people who died were seniors and warned the death toll is expected to rise. Saskatchewan Roughriders may have lost Friday night, but one local kid found the end zone in his pro debut.
Argos sent 5. Trevor gets it away over the middle to the 10. Now to the 5. Looking in the end zone. Got it. Touchdown. Riders. Boy,
Daniel Wiebe, the former University of Saskatchewan Husky, earning his first CFL touchdown in his very first game. From Wiebe, who's from Rosetown, Saskatchewan, home of my mom. Scoring a touchdown for his hometown Riders is a dream come true.
It's kind of everything I imagined and more at the same time. It still hasn't really set in. It's kind of crazy to just be thinking about, just that, you know, it's really, we're living it right now, which is crazy. So it's been awesome, and yeah, excited to just keep going and yeah, just keep getting better.
We know what that means to that kid and what it means to us, honestly. He just works his tail off. You know, he sparked and gave us some juice. Really proud of that guy.
Running back Quelly Conley also earned his first CFL touchdown in his first game. Saskatchewan lost 40-34 at the hand of the Argos. Riders back in action Friday in Ottawa. We got an exciting contest for you this week.
That's right, Daryl. Monsters and Mayhem is coming to Regina for 3 shows, July 17th, 18th, and 19th at Kings Park Speedway, and we want you to catch the action. Enter on our website for your chance to win a family pack of tickets for the Saturday show. All right, let's turn our attention back back outside to this morning view. It's brought to you by Stars Lottery. Your ticket funds life-saving care across Saskatchewan. It is more bright and sunny through Regina today compared to Saskatoon. You'll see that in just a moment. But 15 degrees to wake us here up here with that sunshine. Winds coming in at 7 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, as we mentioned, some more of that precipitation still falling. That carried over from yesterday, of course, through the overnight hours, and still seeing that this morning. We are also expecting to be seeing that into the later parts of the afternoon as well. Into the evening, could be seeing that risk of some more thunderstorms increasing as well. Winds coming in right now, though, at 19 kilometers per hour. Temperatures across the province, not so bad to start the day. 18 degrees to wake you up in Stony Rapids, 19 already in La Ronge, 16 degrees in Prince Albert, and 17 degrees in Hudson Bay. We have continued to see a bit of those cooler temperatures persisting through the southwest corner of the province. East End only at 9 degrees right now, so you see that little touch of that light blue color there extending over into Alberta. 14 degrees though in Moose Jaw, 15 in Yorkton, and 14 degrees in Estevan. Winds are going to remain low throughout the afternoon today. We are seeing them just barely surpassing 30 kilometers per hour in areas around North Battleford, Prince Albert, and Hudson Bay. Those are all the areas where we're expecting most of that rain to be falling throughout the day today as well. So no coincidence there. Today's forecast with the temperatures, though, looking like they are going to be a little bit warmer down through the southeast corner. 24 degrees for Weyburn, 22 for Estevan. You do see that thunderstorm icon for Regina. Don't be as concerned for that here today. The ingredients exist, but we're more so seeing the higher likelihood of just some sunshine throughout the afternoon today. 22 degrees, 24 in Yorkton, a higher chance of seeing those thunderstorms up there. 19 degrees in Saskatoon, 19 for Prince Albert and the Battlefords as well. And again, those are the areas that we're expecting to see more of that rain falling. Now, you do see temperatures fall off a little bit tomorrow and the risk of some thunderstorms going up, but that risk does go right back down on Wednesday. Again, the ingredients are still there until the end of our work week, but it does go down for our Canada Day. 21 degrees on that day, 23 on Thursday, 24 on Friday, and 22 on Saturday with that sunshine finally coming out. 26 on Sunday. In Saskatoon, again, seeing that risk of some thunderstorms persisting through until the end of our work week. Again, the risk does go down on Wednesday, though. Sunshine more likely to be coming out, though, on Saturday.
Here's what's happening in our community. The Lieutenant Governor's Canada Day celebration is on July 1st at 1 p.m. It's being held at the Government House, and for more information, you can call 306-787-6460. The 117th Annual Weyburn Fair Days is on July 2nd from 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. Being held at Weyburn Agricultural Society X grounds. For more information, you can go to weyburnagriculturalsociety.com. The Polka Fest is on July 4th at the Newdorf Community Hall. For more information, you can call 306-728-8230. And the Parking Lot Garage Sale Fundraiser is on July 4th at 10 a.m. It's being held on the 1600 block of 6th Avenue. Submit your event to our community by visiting our website at ctvregina.ca and click Community Calendar or scan the QR code on your screen.
Best part of the week. You can't argue that. It's the Regina Humane Society, Bill Thorne, and our adorable adoptable who is named what, Bill?
This is Tank, and she's kind of a little tankish, a little stocky, but we don't mind. It makes her just that much more special. She's about 2.5 years old, came in with a sibling. That one's gone home, so it is absolutely Tank's turn to go home, and we're hoping we can find that person today, if possible.
I always ask this, but who is Tank perfect for?
Well, you know, she's actually pretty good. You can see she's lying here pretty quiet. There's some folks down there that she's checking out. We're outside. She did some running around. Typical, 2-year-old dog. I think she fit in just about anywhere. But as we always say, you want to get her out for lots of walks, exercise that body and brain, and she'll be just fine.
So we can change the name from Tank to Untank. What breed is that? Do you know?
She's a Staffordshire Terrier mix.
Okay,
We're not sure what.
All right, so there we go. We got that information out there. You need to raise some money to do the hard work that you guys do. Let's talk about a couple of those events, starting with Friends of Life lottery there.
For sure. You know, we need to raise some money for us too, but we're giving you a chance to raise some money for yourself as well with the Friends for Life lottery. You can win up to $10,000 for the grand prize, $5,000 for the early bird, but for that you need to get your tickets in by August the 6th, and there's some smaller prizes as well. And every penny that's raised from that goes to help animals like Tank who come into our care, all 3,700 of them every year.
While we're talking about Tank, it is Canada Day week, so a lot of communities across the province are going to have fireworks displays, and not all dogs or cats like those.
Yeah, that's true. Just like some people don't like the loud noises, dogs and cats can be very much the same. You know, give them a place where they can go, a safe place, if you will, where they can, you know, be assured that they're going to be okay. Spend some time with them, get them out for their business a little bit early, so you're not doing it during the fireworks. And be sure if you are out during that time that you have them on a leash, because they can get spooked from the loud noises and dart off. You don't want to lose them that way.
School's out for the summer, and you're a great place to send some kids for some camps. You got some spaces left?
Our Humane Heroes summer camps are set to go. We do have a few spaces left for them. They're for kids 7 to 12, and it's a week-long camp, Monday to Friday, and we've got all kinds of games and crafts. They'll tour the shelter, learn about veterinary care, animal protection services, and all through the lens of compassion and kindness. Super weeks planned, so if you have not got your kids in, please check out our website and get them registered before the camp start in a week or two.
Circling back to the top, how do we adopt Tank if we do so wish?
Well, Tank is available as well as all the other dogs and cats that we have here. Her adoption is fully sponsored as well, so that means there's no adoption fee for the adopter, just a City of Regina license tag if you live in town. We're open for adoptions Tuesday through Sunday from noon until 6 p.m. We will be closed on Canada Day, July 1st, however.
Bill, thank you so much for this, and hey, somebody out there, take Tank home. Tank needs
let's get it done. Absolutely. Thanks, Daryl.
Here's what's happening in our community. The Polka Fest is on July 4th at Newdorf Community Hall. For more information, you can call 306-728-8230. The Parking Lot Garage Sale Fundraiser is on July 4th at 10 a.m. It's being held on the 1600 block of 6th Avenue. And the 2026 MSI Computer Camps is from July 6th to 10th at 8 a.m. It's being held at the U of R Classroom building. For more information, you can go to compcamps.com. And Drop Zone is on August 22nd to raise funds to support Easter Seal Saskatchewan. Spots are limited, and you can register now at dropzoneyqr.ca. Submit your event to our community by visiting our website at ctvregina.ca and clicking Community Calendar or scanning the QR code on your screen.
Let's check back in with Janelle Lipai now ahead of Moose Jaw's Canada Day celebrations.
Good morning. Canada Day is right around the corner, and we are talking all things celebrations. This time I've got Dave and Kirk with me. Let's start off with a little bit on why this is so important. We were talking earlier about how this is very volunteer-based. What is the importance of that?
Well, 100% of our money raised in the city stays in the city, and we try and volunteer as much as we can so that the community can enjoy everything that we do and put on for them. Mm-hmm. And one of the things is the Canada Day fireworks.
Yeah. And how does the community come out to support that? What does that feel like for you guys also as volunteers?
Well, when you see their faces and stuff like that whenever we do stuff, it's changing for us. We've done a lot for different groups, and just the expression on their face when you see what you've done, it really means a lot to us.
All right. Well, really important stuff that you guys do here. Now, let's talk a little bit about location, how people can be a part of this.
Location, fireworks is Wednesday, July 1st, 10 p.m. roughly. When it gets dark, weather permitting, obviously. But down here at the Hamilton Flats, just park along the side of the road, sit in backyards, watch, and enjoy the show.
All right, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, but in case somebody missed it, what can they look forward to? What are we expecting to see Wednesday?
Well, we got some money from a federal grant and stuff, so the show will be bigger and better than it's ever been. And I like to promote that people say it's better than the people down the street.
All right, you two. Well, thank you so much for being here once again. That is coming up Wednesday night. Lots of fireworks, a great opportunity to celebrate.
It's June 29th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a belated anniversary wish. Ron and Sally Matt marked their 40th wedding anniversary on June 27th. Congratulations, you two. We hope the day was filled with love. A belated happy birthday wish going out to Jerome, who is now 12 years old. We hope you had an awesome birthday with love from your granny. A big happy birthday going out to Rachel. She's turning 14 years old today. We hope you have a great day with love from your family. Turning 8 years old today is Kendall. Happy birthday to you. We hope it's your best birthday yet. Enjoy. We're also sending happy birthday wishes out to Claire for her 6th birthday today. Have a great day, Claire, with love from your grandma and grandpa Sawatsky. And another 6th birthday to celebrate. Happy birthday to Dottie. Your grandma and grandpa Lang are sending you so much love for your special day. Enjoy. And a couple of graduation photos to share with you. Congratulations to Olivia with love from your mom and dad. And congratulations to Brayden on finishing grade 12 with love from your mom, dad, Cohen, Grayson, and Sophia. And finally, on June 29th, 1991, this beautiful couple said their I do's, and 35 years later, they are still celebrating that love. Congratulations.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
All right, let's play Song Roulette. I haven't done this to myself ever, and it goes drastically every time I do it to Kayleen.
Yeah.
But for my birthday, I guess, send me out whatever's next. What do you got?
It's Jason Aldean's Don't Tell on Me. So I don't know what you have going on for your birthday, but we will not tell on you.
There we go. Perfect. That could have gone a lot worse, admittedly.
It could have. Also, today, if I know the kids have been out of school for like just today, essentially, but if you're already lost what to do with them, PureCountry927.ca, go there. The Queen City X is getting closer, and we're giving away some family packs of tickets. All you have to do is enter online. It's last week, too, to get in for Lasso Music Festival in Montreal by listening to us for 10 minutes with the iHeartRadio app. Plus, this weekend was a big one. Alan Jackson calling it a career, his last ever concert with literally everybody in country music. So we'll give you some of the highlights there with your Country Minute on the way, and then let you know where you can be streaming that coming up.
Thanks very much. We'll do it again tomorrow.
Thanks. See you then.
We were always there for each other. I just want to be there for him now.
There will be more every year after. Prime Video has renewed the series for a second season, which will continue adapting the best-selling Barry's Bay novels by Carly Fortune.
The guys are bringing liquor, and the women will be bringing hors d'oeuvres. So you'll be bringing Pepto-Bismol.
The documentary We Are Pat looks at Julia Sweeney's iconic Saturday Night Live character and the evolution of gender identity in comedy over the past 30-plus years.
It was really just kind of looking at this character that is a contradiction, that really is both things. You know, Pat is transphobic, but Pat is also a non-binary icon, and Pat is funny, and Pat is, you know, of the 90s, but also weirdly relevant today. So I think that's what makes it like a really interesting, sticky, cool subject matter.
Screenings of We Are Pat are taking place around the U.S. this summer, and the documentary is available on digital platforms. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
For some people, flying is not comfortable at the best of times, and even worse if you're tall. Brian here is 6'7". Barely fits the plane's cabin. His knees bang up against the seat in front of him. Wait till that person reclines. Look at him trying to fit in the bathroom. I did a baby change in the bathroom of the airplane, and that was she's a little sideways in the thing. It was not ideal.
I had to do that once.
Yeah.
Less than ideal. And then I took a Via Rail train to Ottawa, and it was like your own little apartment. It was so spacious. You know, the sliding door.
Oh, cool.
It was awesome.
That is a very tall man. You know what? It's not often that I say I'm grateful for being 5'4", but I'm grateful looking at that as I watch his neck crane in.
I'm only 6'1", and it's still tight in there for me.
I've had viewers come up to me. Actually, this happened about 2 weeks ago in Costco. A woman came up to me and said, "I just thought you'd be taller." Oh. People for some reason think I look taller on the show, but when they see me in real life, they're like, "You're really short."
Oh, well. Sorry.
What can you do?
Being an artist means getting creative.
I guess we never really moved on. It's really good to hear your voice.
I've got too much time on my tiny hands files. We have this monstrosity.
Well, I'm just impressed that she put the hair all up in rollers for it.
Yeah, that's true. So that's her schnoz there. It's supposed to be the lips. There you go.
She must be like flexing her nose to make it look like the mouth is opening. Can flare her nostrils.
What a skill to learn you've developed. Isn't that special? Bye. Welcome to Monday, June 29th.
We took a policy that we were implementing on a global basis that we believed we had to put in place to keep America strong.
What will the future of North American trade look like? A new course could start 2 days from now as CUSMA reaches its review deadline. Hope is fading fast, but crews are still working day and night in Venezuela in search of earthquake survivors.
My brother's going to the medical tent. I think he's having a jammer. No. Yeah, it's exciting.
I didn't know producer Nathan had a few days off. That's wonderful. Canada fans, get ready. It's time for the round of 16 for the first time ever. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Monday.
And that was not producer Nathan. Producer Nathan's far less handsome than that guy.
Yeah, except when I said that to you during that news sting, Nathan then came in our ear.
What?
Why would we say that?
And apparently he quit, so Arden Lloyd got a promotion in this last 5 seconds, which is wonderful.
So much happening over here at Your Morning Saskatchewan.
Just gifts, including a tornado over the weekend.
Tornado over the weekend, one confirmed, one we're still watching Environment Canada as they're investigating. But yes, we definitely had at least one confirmed tornado in Saskatchewan yesterday.
Got a little viewer video of that coming up in a minute. But first, we're going to start with those earthquakes in Venezuela. It's a race against time, as we mentioned off the top, as rescuers work to find survivors trapped in the rubble. ABC's James Longman has the latest.
Thousands in Venezuela are pinning their hopes on miracle rescues this morning, but time is running out for anyone still trapped after the earthquakes that officials now call the worst natural disaster in the country's history. The U.S., one of at least 24 countries to send rescue teams, among them 86 specialist dog teams, even using small drones here to find survivors. But anger is growing at the government for being slow to act. New video shows a mother and her 18-day-old newborn pulled from underneath what remained of their apartment building in La Guera after being trapped for 32 hours, both now in stable condition. The State Department posting this video of American crews helping to pull another mother and her 9-month-old baby to safety, both somehow suffering only minor injuries. And yesterday, 4 days after that pair of powerful earthquakes struck, a father and son pulled from the rubble alive. But for every miracle, devastation. The death toll has climbed now to nearly 1,500 and over 3,000 injured. But tens of thousands are still reported missing, and hundreds of aftershocks are still jolting the region. La Guera, a coastal town, the worst hit. Thousands are still sleeping outside, worried more buildings might fall. Huge apartment buildings collapsed in seconds. Entire neighborhoods were wiped out. An estimated 58,000 buildings were damaged or destroyed across Venezuela. UNICEF says 1.8 million people need help, including nearly 700,000 children.
The focus of the relief effort is really on La Guaira, which is a state about half an hour normally from where I am in Caracas, but it's taking hours to get there, hours to get out. The true level of devastation in that part of Venezuela really is not yet known. James Longman, ABC News in Caracas.
A number of areas in Regina, especially the north end, experienced flooding due to heavy rain this weekend. System just couldn't keep up. Experts say about 20 millimeters of rain fell. The water was up to the knees of some residents. Take a look at your screen. There's a street that's kind of flooded out. Few basements were affected as well, as you'd imagine. The Cathedral neighborhood also battled backups caused by heavy rain. And naturally, what would be a rainstorm without somebody deciding to drive under the Albert Street underpass and submerging their vehicle? We'll never learn.
That's a tornado! Look, it's a tornado!
A little more happy than I would sound about seeing one, but Environment and Climate Change Canada confirming a tornado near Pelly, Saskatchewan on Sunday stormed down trees and appeared to damage the roof of at least one home. We're expecting to learn a little more later today. This video courtesy a Facebook page called Bill's Interesting Things. Regina police took one person into custody after a weapons call. This one happened 3 o'clock yesterday in the area of 12th Avenue and Wallace Street. Police told people to avoid the area, and 90 minutes later, the issue was resolved. No names have been released. Officers say the investigation continues. The Canadian men will play their first ever round of 16 match in Houston, Texas, after an incredible finish to the first ever knockout game against South Africa yesterday.
This is dropping nicely. It's the
A massive cheer went up across the country after he scored in the 92nd minute stoppage time. That goal sealed the win for Canada.
We worked a lot to get this victory. We really wanted to give this win to all the Canadians. And we just kept believing, we kept pushing. And I think we couldn't have imagined it any other way. I think it was an amazing goal. But when I shot, I felt that everybody shot with me. Everybody put a little bit of power on it, and it went into the back of the net, so I'm very happy.
Canada will either face the Netherlands or Morocco, who will square off in Mexico at 7 o'clock tonight. The other two matches today, Japan and Brazil in Houston at 11 o'clock this morning. Germany taking on Paraguay at 2:30. You can see all those games on the mighty TSN or stream them on Crave. Saskatoon Pride underway yesterday, Jeremy.
Yeah, festivities culminated over the weekend, and we stayed mostly dry during the Pride Parade yesterday. Rain stayed away once things actually did get underway, and thousands flocked to the downtown to take part and check it out. But there was a time when Pride celebrations in Saskatoon were limited to just one room. The Zodiac Friendship Society, one of Saskatoon's first official organizations for LGBTQ2S+ people, was created in 1972. The following year, it found a home called the Gemini Club. Members say it was one of the few spaces where those in the community could feel safe. One of the organization's founding members spoke with CTV about the first time he got to see the Pride Parade in Saskatoon.
I stood by the Besborough and the parade went by, and I just welled with pride looking at those young people and thinking, you know, when I was their age, there was nothing. And I'm one of the people who helped create something for them. So that, it just, you know, it makes me want to cry. It's awesome.
Garman shared that he has attended several Pride parades all over the world, but Saskatoon still holds a special place in his heart. Meanwhile, many people gathered to remember victims of domestic violence on Saturday morning. A march from Mount Royal Park to Saskatoon Police Headquarters hosted. The walk was intended to serve as both a memorial and a protest to remember those who have died from domestic violence and to advocate for change.
It breaks my heart for these families, and us coming together, it only creates our message to be stronger, and we won't stop. And this is our message out there. These women out here, they're going to be heard. They're going to be heard from now on and from today and forever.
Nate Tauhau represented one of 6 different families in attendance who have lost a loved one to domestic violence. Emergency crews searching for 6 people after a boat sinking, Daryl.
Yeah, authorities believe there were 10 people aboard the ship when it started taking on water around 11:45 a.m. near Richmond, BC. 4 people were rescued, but the others remain unaccounted for. In a statement, the Joint Rescue Coordination Center said the incident was reported by someone on the boat who said there were several people in the water without personal flotation devices. The circumstances around the sinking are now under investigation. A wildfire has forced people out of their homes in Northwest Territories community of Fort Simpson. The order went out to leave late last night. The fire is now more than 4 square kilometers in size and burning about 7 kilometers away from the airport. The last flight out is this morning. Gas stations will stay open for people who are leaving by car. The 1,300 people who live in Fort Simpson have been told to head to Yellowknife. 60 plus wildfires burning here in Saskatchewan, by the way. Healthcare workers will gather today to mark the 5th anniversary of what they're calling the deadliest day of the devastating 2021 heat dome. A slate of speakers are set for this morning in BC as healthcare workers will share what they lived through and their calls to the government to strengthen heat protections to save lives. The extreme heat wave contributed to more than 600 deaths across BC, according to the coroner's report, as temperatures soared above 40 degrees Celsius for several days. Meantime, the sun is beating down across Europe as countries struggle under the unrelenting week-long heat wave. In France, hundreds have died, overwhelming mortuaries, and in Poland, tourists are facing record-making temperatures.
I come from Australia, the Gold Coast, and we get fairly warm days, but nothing like this. This is more like the sort of heat we get in Central Australia.
Some people in Warsaw cooled off in misty sprinklers while others stayed away from outdoor areas, leaving the typically busy city emptier than usual. In Vatican City, worshippers braved the hot weather to watch and listen to the Pope, many under umbrellas. Scientists say the heat wave, which began June 20th, is the worst in Europe's recorded history. A 31-year-old woman died Sunday after an alligator attacked her while she was swimming with friends. It happened in Seminole County, Florida. The attack happened around 1:30 in the afternoon. The Fish and Wildlife Confederation said the woman was taken to hospital where she later died. Authorities have not released her name. The Seminole County Sheriff's Office closed access to the trailhead as deputies assisted at the scene. Scary stuff. NASA is taking on rescue mission to save an aging telescope from falling back to Earth. The telescope, named Swift, has been sinking, losing altitude from space due to recent solar activity. NASA has hired a company to send a 3-armed spacecraft up to chase Swift and boost the flying observatory to higher orbit where it can continue its research on cosmic explosions. If the mission works, the similar strategy will be used on NASA's larger Hubble telescope, which is also slowly losing altitude. Let's turn our attention to the weather picture and all that rain.
Yeah, well, today we could be getting a bit of a break here in the Queen City. Saskatoon, though, has already been seeing that rain so far today, and that is going to continue into the afternoon. This morning view is brought to you by Stars Lottery. Your ticket funds life-saving care across Saskatchewan. To wake you up in Regina, we are at 17 degrees. Again, a lot of sunshine to start the day. Winds currently coming in at 7 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, we have been seeing more of that precipitation this morning, so our traffic camera here is a bit damp, but it does seem like we're getting a bit of a break right now. 15 degrees to start your day, winds coming in at 19 kilometers per hour. Here's a look at that radar and satellite showing all those areas where we saw that storm activity yesterday, mainly throughout the later parts of the afternoon and evening hours. Overnight, it did lessen in terms of the storm activity and just turned to a lot of that rain falling. This morning, though, we're seeing some more of that. All those areas lighting up in yellow and orange on your screen. Of course, the green indicating just some light precipitation this morning into the afternoon. It does increase, some of that extending down towards the south. And if you take a look down near the southeast corner of the province, right around Estevan there, you can see some more of those severe storms moving up. It does briefly pass through the southeast corner of the province until it makes its way over to Manitoba. Manitoba is actually expecting some quite severe storms over the next few coming days, and that system is going to be straddling the border with Saskatchewan, so we are going to be seeing some of that over here as well. The risk of thunderstorms continues on throughout the rest of our work week, so unfortunately your Canada Day is expected to be a damp one. Total rainfall by the end of the day today, about 8 millimeters now expected for Prince Albert, only about 1 on tap now for the Battleford. Saskatoon, it has gone down to 0, but we do still have that chance of seeing some more later on in the afternoon. 5 millimeters for Swift Current, and now expecting about 10 millimeters for Estevan, but again, that's more likely to be coming throughout the evening hours tonight. As we look forward to tomorrow afternoon, the numbers do go up, and again, take a look over in Manitoba, as we were talking about that they were expecting some severe storms. They are also going to be getting quite a bit of rain, but again, by 3 p.m. tomorrow, total rainfalls, Yorkton expecting about 23 millimeters by then, about 18 by then for Estevan. Today's forecast looking still below that seasonal average, 19 degrees for the Battleford, Saskatoon, and Prince Albert. You do see that thunderstorm icon for Regina. Again, the chance is a lot lower in Regina here compared to places around Prince Albert, but the chance still does exist, peaking around 22 degrees.
This day in history, a device went on sale that would change the way we communicate. That's right, 19 years ago, on June 29, 2007, people would buy the first ever iPhone. It replaced clunky buttons with a sleek touch screen. First experienced, brought the internet to our pockets and cameras too. And since then, Apple's technology has reshaped the industry over the next 2 decades, adding faster processors, improved cameras, and tons of features, including health tracking, social media, and more.
The slopes of Switzerland's Great St. Bernard Pass continue to live up to its name.
We get to see them born, and we get to see them grow up and then become mothers, and we get to accompany them through all of those different challenges in life.
Yeah, St. Bernards have lived on this pass since the mid-17th century, and they remain here as sort of a living museum where 21 keepers care for 32 dogs. The museum is kept as a breeding program where tourists can come to explore the mountainside and see the large mountain dogs.
Heck yeah, iconic.
21 keepers take care of 32 dogs. Those are some very well taken care of dogs.
It's a big dog.
No That's a nice ratio.
That's a big, big dog. Let's get to our question of the day. We're talking about coffee mugs today.
Yes, we're asking you, what is your favorite coffee mug? What's on your coffee mug? And our very own Lee Jones sent this one in of his pup. Look at that mug.
Oh.
That's a cool one. I'm going to ask Lee when he gets into work where he got that. Let's get on over to another picture here. We had this one coming in from Gail. Says, coffee keeps me up until it's time for wine.
Oh, okay.
What do we think?
Show in the background. That's a nice touch.
This one's beautiful. I loved this one that came into our inbox from Elizabeth.
Very Canadian.
Very Canadian. This is another mug I think I would like to add to my collection. We had Marcella sending this one in. She said she is a runner, so this one is very apt for her. On the other side, it said, run, Scoob.
Zoinks, like a Scoob.
Run, Ruby.
Nancy,
there we go.
I thought you'd like
Proud
this one,
Norwegian.
Daryl.
There we are.
I saw that and I said, Daryl's going to love it.
I do indeed. I do approve.
Any other photos coming in? We do. We have Lori saying not everything can look good at the same time. It's either me, the kids, or the house.
Yeah, you know it's probably the kids.
Yeah. Actually, Daryl dropped off a present for my kid yesterday for her birthday, and I wasn't expecting anybody at my door, so I opened my door, and I looked like a wet rat.
Did you?
And I said, hello.
I just saw Tyler in the background with a big goofy smile.
Welcome to my home.
Big old goofy grin.
Donna saying she has a mug that says teach, love, inspire. Another one that came in saying coffee's tasting good this morning in a New York Rangers mug. That one's cool. This one is so cute. My favorite saying on a mug is from my daughter, promoted from dog grandma to human grandma, established 2024, the best baby announcement ever.
Oh, congratulations to you. Hope you're enjoying your time with the little one. She's probably about 2 now. That's it for our question of the day. Health news after this.
A JAMA study out of Finland shows that students diagnosed with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder at a younger age had higher GPAs, obtained higher level degrees, and experienced lower dropout rates. The earlier kids were diagnosed with ADHD, the more likely they were to obtain college degrees. The students with ADHD who had the highest academic achievements were diagnosed around middle school age. The authors recommend having children screened before age 12, as this age often brings big social changes and high academic demands. We know ADHD comes with academic challenges, but earlier diagnosis may lead to early support, such as class accommodations, medical treatments, and academic tools. Parents are advised to talk to their child's pediatrician about earlier screening for ADHD. With this Medical Minute, I'm Michelle Franzen.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
As we track down Mike Siona this morning, we noticed that he is clad in red and white for what else? Canada Day.
Well, I'm not the only one in a hat now. Keala Caudillo joins us now with the Latin Canadian Community Association. Is that right?
Latino Canadian Cultural Association.
Very close, though.
Very close.
I am trying. Got it in English, at least.
Yes.
Thank you for clarifying that. We are having a great time down here, getting ready for Canada Day. Talk to me about what you guys are bringing to this very stage here on Canada Day.
Well, we are from the Latino community. We are bringing just some of the pieces because there are going to be other groups as well from other communities. So what we are bringing from the Latino community, it's a lot of dancing from kids, by kids. Also, we have by Latinas, an adult dance group, and myself, Keala Caudillo from Mexico, with a lot of music too.
I love that. Now, you did mention there are a vast, diverse number of different cultures that will be on display here as we celebrate Canada. How cool is it to be part of that and kind of see the whole tapestry of our multicultural nation?
Well, it is a great opportunity. Like us, many immigrants have formed this beautiful city and this community. So it's always good to have opportunities to show who we are, that we are here, and what we can contribute.
I love that. Now, Canada Day celebrations will be here on Canada Day, obviously, right down here at River Landing and across the riverbank, culminating, of course, with the fireworks and all of the excitement. But right now, let's turn it over for a little sneak peek and a performance. Go ahead.
Lejanas, he venido para confesar que aunque pobre me sobran las ganas, por eso mismo me voy a emborrachar. Se me fue de mi lado ese ingrato, se me fue y no lo puedo olvidar. Su careta a veces me mata y por eso me voy a emborrachar. Que sirvan las otras copitas de mezcal y a la vida la ganamos como...
Time to play Why Do We Say That? Where we learn why we say certain things that we stuck around in our lexicon. Today's is, why do we say 2 shakes of a lamb's tail? I imagine lambs were currency a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
Maybe there's some sort of folklore around the shaking of the tail.
I was just
I don't know why I'm
thinking
doing this. I'm being in my seat.
You know, farmers probably originated this in saying, hey, lambs shake their tails very quickly.
So
maybe watches weren't real common amongst herders back then. This was their unit of time.
Some level of expedience. Let's go to our University of Regina expert, Noel, to find out why we say that.
Okay, so this is a 19th century American expression. The lamb's tail part is the American version of an expression that was popular in England, a brace of shakes or something. So shake meaning a kind of instantaneous action. And it actually comes from, again, a novel from 1851, a book by a guy named S.A. Hammett, called Piney Woods Tavern. Nobody reads it anymore. So, as I said, shake refers to a very quick movement. Lamb's tails can move pretty quickly. Sometimes it's a sheep's tail, so those are interchangeable. And it means doing something quite immediately. And as I say, in British English, it's just simply two shakes. And it's probably likely where we also get the expression to shake a leg, meaning to, get busy, move on, move quickly. So that's it.
We're stealing stuff from literature again.
He said nobody reads that book anymore, and now I'm taking that as a challenge. That's my next read.
Yeah, I kind of want to.
We're going to have 3 reads and maybe 1 viewer out there. That's why we say that. It's 8:30. Here's what's making news as my throat decides to give out right as we come back to camera. The debate politically over the plan by the federal government to buy up vacant condos in BC is now ramping up. The Conservative leader wants the Ethics Committee to investigate the plan, which he's calling a bailout. Jeremy Sharon reports.
It's a move the Carney government insists is about supporting Canadians, not distressed developers.
We don't care about the developer. We care about the person, the family that can potentially move into the home.
But a plan to buy and convert 2,200 unsold condos in British Columbia into affordable rent-to-own units is coming under fire.
We need a full investigation into the Carney condo bailout.
In a new letter to the House of Commons Ethics Committee, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is calling for an urgent meeting to investigate what he calls a plan to bail out developers, bankers, and investors. Speaking with CTV News Sunday, Poilievre says Carney is protecting developers from losses.
Who asked for this? Who lobbied for this? And who is benefiting from putting these condo losses on the backs of hardworking taxpayers struggling to make ends meet?
When asked last week, Carney said no developer asked for this from him directly. The Prime Minister stressed there is no specific transaction on the table yet. Few details have been shared about the actual plan.
I don't think we've done, myself included, a particularly good job of rolling this out and explaining exactly what it is.
I think this is smart politics for Pierre Poilievre because I do think this file has been badly miscommunicated.
The average Canadian is looking at this and saying, looks like Poilievre's got a point here.
Poilievre argues Carney's plan would only drive housing prices up.
The solution is obvious. Let the condo developers lower the price so that Canadians can afford to buy the condos themselves.
Now, the criticism may already be enough to stop this proposal from going ahead. BC Premier David Eby, who announced this plan alongside the Prime Minister, has said if it proves to be unpopular, it won't move forward. Jeremy Sherrill, CTV News, Ottawa.
Now to the latest on the war with Iran. Here's ABC's Rachel Scott.
Overnight, a U.S. official telling ABC News the U.S. and Iran have agreed to halt strikes after a heated weekend of back-and-forth attacks. But Iran has yet to confirm that agreement, this morning insisting they have sole control over the Strait of Hormuz, contradicting the Trump administration. Early Sunday morning, Tehran launching a barrage of missiles and drones at U.S. military sites in Bahrain and Kuwait, while warning that American bases across the region will experience hell in the coming days. A U.S. official telling us all the drones and missiles were intercepted, shot down, or failed to hit their targets, adding there were no casualties or damages to the targeted bases. The attack comes after the U.S. struck multiple targets inside Iran in response to an Iranian attack on an oil tanker in the Strait of Hormuz. It marks the second Iranian attack on commercial ships in just the past few days. On Friday, the U.S. struck Iranian drone and missile storage facilities after Tehran targeted another ship in the Strait with a drone.
Rachel Scott, ABC News, Washington.
One of the original Saskatchewan government air ambulance planes from the 1950s has returned to its former base in Regina. The plane has been completely restored and arrived to mark the 80th anniversary of the aviation company. Wayne Mantica reports.
This vintage Cessna 195 flew hundreds of life-saving missions throughout Saskatchewan in the 1950s and 60s. Later, it ended up derelict in Alberta until purchased for restoration.
And with it came all of the spare parts from the Saskatchewan Air Ambulance Service. And this airplane was wrecked, but it was all the parts were there.
The aviation enthusiast spent 30 years rebuilding the plane in his spare time. The aircraft flew back to its former Regina hangar on the weekend, now occupied by Prairie Flying Service.
That flew for the Saskatchewan Air Ambulance back in the 50s. So it is the first time it's come home since that period of time.
Saskatchewan's Air Ambulance Service was founded by the Douglas government in 1948 to bring emergency assistance to rural and remote areas.
They have never lost a patient or a crew member due to an accident. They were doing what STARS does 70 years ago. It's amazing.
The return of the air ambulance was part of a celebration marking the 80th anniversary of Prairie Flying Service.
My father was one of the founders. They started their business in 1946. I came on the scene in 1953 and was actually a pilot here starting in the early 70s.
The anniversary celebration was marked by a torrential downpour. Jeffrey Straker was performing for guests when water began gushing in.
It got a foot from the stage, so that was pretty intense. I've never seen anything like this, and I've made music as my full-time living. I've toured for 19 years, and I have never seen this. So,
guests scrambled to push back the flow.
To have a torrential downpour like that, I don't know what that means for an 80th anniversary, but it must be something for one way for us to end our celebration today.
It's proof that an 80-year-old company can weather the storm. Wayne Mantica, CTV News, Regina.
Well, Friday was a loss for the Rough Riders, but a dream come true for a hometown kid. Donovan Mace reports.
For Daniel Wiebe, wearing the green and white is everything he fantasized about as a kid in Rosetown. But finding the end zone in his first career CFL game is a dream come true.
I've been dreaming of these moments since a kid, and to be able to do it with the Riders, it means everything, being a hometown kid. So, yeah, extremely exciting.
The University of Saskatchewan product thrust into action to replace an injured Sam Emilis.
Wiebe stepping up.
While he only made 2 catches, he made them count, providing a much-needed boost to a banged-up Riders offense.
It's kind of everything I imagined and more at the same time. It still hasn't really set in. It's kind of crazy to just be thinking about.
We know what that means to that kid and what it means to us, honestly. He just works his tail off. He sparked and gave us some juice.
Riders rookies making an impact all over the field. Eli Conley also playing in his first CFL game, also finding the end zone for his first career touchdown.
Just grateful. I'm just glad I'm here and excited. There's always somebody that wished they was in my position, and I feel like I'm grateful that I'm just here playing football.
Making the moments count with the lights at their brightest.
Mims did a great job. Daniel Wiebe, stud, as we talked about in training camp. Q did a great job in the backfield, had some explosive runs, and got a nice touchdown there.
I want to be helping out the team as much as I possibly can, and to be able to be putting points on the board means a lot. And it takes everyone. That doesn't happen without the other guys doing their job.
Donovan Mace, CTV News, Regina.
Vibes are high for soccer fans this morning after Canada advanced at the World Cup. A lot of Canadian fans went to Los Angeles and watched as one of the greatest moments in our nation's sports history on the pitch played out. Andrew Johnson captured some of the excitement.
Their day started here when they took over a bar, turned it into Canada House, and got busy ordering bacon and eggs and beer for breakfast.
We might not experience this again in our lifetime.
Which is why so many were willing to make the last-minute trip, no matter what it took.
We left Cambridge, drove to Buffalo, went from Buffalo down to Dallas, Dallas to here, got here, found a hotel, don't know the city at all, but we found everybody here.
For James Crawford, the journey started 40 years ago.
This is myself on the right.
He was in Mexico to watch Canada at the 1986 World Cup. He has been at every World Cup game the men's team has played ever since.
Completing the dream. Watching Canada for 50 years.
Then, 100 strong, they marched through the streets of Los Angeles. A goosebump moment, especially poignant in light of the politics of the past year. The game itself, with its storybook ending in the final minutes, a goal to send Canada to the round of 16, sent emotional fans streaming out of the stadium.
I may have shed a tear. It was amazing.
For Vancouver's captain, Canada, it was a stunning result.
The shot, the corner, the win. It all happened so fast. Yes. My brother's going to the medical tent. I think he's having a jammer. No. Yeah, it's exciting.
And now the team that has come further than any before it in Canadian men's soccer history will play its next match in Houston. Some of these fans will meet them there.
For another like 8 or 12 grand or 15 grand or something, we could get to Houston. I'll go home and sell a vehicle or something.
That next match for Canada in Texas on July 4th will not be an easy one. They'll face either Morocco or the Netherlands, two heavyweights ranked in the world's top 10. But for the fans who witnessed history here today in Southern California, anything is now possible. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Los Angeles.
I just want to see the full raw interview with that guy.
I know, I was just thinking the same thing.
Unedited stream.
We will never be as funny as him.
Is the brother-in-law okay?
Yeah, we never got contact.
How's the jammer?
Yeah. All right, let's turn our attention outside to this weather picture. Some good news for you if you're waking up with us here in Regina. We're actually tracking the chance of rain going down for us today. The risk of a thunderstorm into the later afternoon and evening hours does still exist, but it has gone down. More likely now, what we're seeing on the radar, the chance of us seeing the sunshine continuing on through the afternoon. 17 degrees to wake you up here. We're seeing winds very low right now, 7 kilometers per hour. Saskatoon has seen some of that rain to start the day. We're at 15 degrees and seeing a little bit of a break from that rain right now. More likely to be seeing more of that rain throughout central Saskatchewan later on into the afternoon. Winds right now coming in at 19 kilometers per hour. Let's turn our attention to current temperatures across the province now. A few places now breaking into those 20-degree temps, including La Ronge and Stony Rapids at 21. 16 to wake you up in Nipawin, 18 in South End, 16 in Melfort, and 18 in Hudson Bay. Now finally seeing East End breaking into those double digits, up to 10 degrees now, but still seeing some cooler temperatures down through the very far southwest corner. 14 degrees in Swift Current, 15 in Moose Jaw, 17 degrees to wake you up in Yorkton. Today's wind gusts are going to be remaining fairly low, although they have gone up from the last time that we did check in on this data here. Prince Albert now just surpassing 40 kilometers per hour with those gusts. North Battleford, similar conditions there, and Hudson Bay as well could be seeing them just surpassing 30 kilometers per hour. Other than that, if you're joining us this morning from Swift Current, Regina, Yorkton, or Estevan, winds are going to be staying very low throughout the day today. Into the afternoon, we are seeing temperatures below the seasonal average still. 19 degrees for the Battlefords, Prince Albert, and Saskatoon. Again, those are areas with a higher likelihood of seeing that rain this afternoon and a risk of thunderstorms into the evening hours. 22 degrees for Regina. You do see the risk of a thunderstorm there. Again, it's not as likely anymore. Just enjoy that sunshine while we're seeing it. 22 degrees for Weyburn and 21 degrees for Estevan. That rain in Estevan going to be falling later on into the evening tonight. Temperatures will be falling tomorrow, 19 degrees, 21 degrees for your Wednesday, 23 by Thursday, and 24 by Friday. The risk of a thunderstorm persisting for both Regina and Saskatoon until the end of your work week. Getting a break on Saturday and Sunday in Regina, but as we look forward to Sunday in Saskatoon, seeing that risk of some rain returning back into the picture.
Hope you haven't made your plans for Canada Day yet. The Lieutenant Governor of Saskatchewan getting set to host Canada Day on the grounds of Government House. Carolyn Spears is with us this morning. Thank you so much for doing this.
It's great to be here.
Remind us, as always, the role of the Lieutenant Governor of Canada.
Of course, the Lieutenant Governor represents Canada's King, King Charles III, and she's does all the duties of the head of state within our constitutional monarchy. So she's a busy person with constitutional duties, but mostly Lieutenant Governors do a lot of community events.
And this is one of your favorites.
Yes, this is the 17th year we're hosting Canada Day at Government House with the Lieutenant Governor, and we have so much fun. We've got a great stage show planned with lots of cultural performances from the Japanese drummers are going to kick things off. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Regina Tabiki Club drummers.
They're usually a Telemiracle, and they're the ones once. When I sit to answer the phones, they start their performance, and I'm on the phone with Gail from Wadena. I'm like, oh, wait a second, just hold on.
It's incredible. It shakes the ground. These women are beautiful. And then this year, for the first time, we're hosting Tavria, Regina's own Ukrainian dance ensemble. So Tavria is going to be on stage as well as the RCMP pipes, drums, and dancers. And then our headliner is the Pile of Bones Brass Band, and they do a sort of New Orleans Mardi Gras type feel. So lots of fun in the stage area.
That'll be great. We saw there's the schedule on your screen. There are a couple of changes due to the weather, yes?
Yes, it looks like Chaos Dog Sports isn't going to be able to join us because the ground is just a little too saturated. But we've still got lots of fun stuff for kids and for families. We've got the Storybook Princesses coming back, Elsa and Anna, and Spider-Man's going to be there too. And we've got bouncy houses, a new bouncy slide this year. And also new this year, we have Fennec Petting Zoo from Fennec Farms.
Nice.
Yes, they have llamas and a little horse, so you can meet a goat, and you can pick up a chicken, and all the things city kids don't get to do.
Yeah, that's for sure. And one of the great things is this brings everybody, and I got to host the event last year, it brings people to Government House that might not normally visit that area and get to see some of the history inside the building.
Yes, for sure. So we have everything going on outside, but people are welcome to go indoors too. The Government House Historical Society runs their collectibles sale, and they have amazing stuff in there to see. And Regina Classical Guitar Society entertains people indoors too. So it's so wonderful inside and outside.
It is free, which is scientifically the best price out there, but when do things get underway?
Yeah, it runs from 1 to 4, and we have activities going that whole time, so people can come and go or come and stay if they like. If they want to hear the Lieutenant Governor's remarks and sing O Canada, and I should mention Ed Willett's going to lead the singing of O Canada this year, that happens at about 2:30. And so far, we're looking forward to a fly past from 15 Wing right about 2:45, so it'll be noisy wherever you are in the city.
That's going to be great, and thank you so much for putting on those great events. And then you can head right over to the RCMP depot and catch the sunset ceremony, which is basically, I've outlined my plans for the rest of the day. Carolyn, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hold me like the pebbles in your hand, initials in the sand. Yeah, summer isn't over yet.
All right, let's head back out to Moose Jaw with Janelle Lipai and see what else we can look forward to for Canada Day.
Good morning. We are wrapping things up down in Moose Jaw ahead of Canada Day, and I've got both Scotts with me once again. Now, we have been talking all morning about the community impact, a really, really crucial thing to the celebrations that you guys are putting on Wednesday. Tell me a little bit about them.
For sure. City Moose Jaw comes out to support us huge. You know, the citizens, everybody in the city, when it's a Kinsman Club event, you know, they come out, they spend money, they open their wallets. We do some pretty big events that we've done for a number of years, like our Kinsman Sports Celebrity. It's been 33 years running, and huge support, you know, grows every year, and it allows us to give back, right? You know, all that money that we raise allows us to give back to all the different service clubs, all the different sports clubs. We're doing a lot with art and just culture and those type of things now as well, and all the different organizations we support benefit from people helping us.
All right, and that community impact is so important. Over the years, have you seen that community support grow up until now?
Oh, absolutely. You know, it gets bigger and better every year. You know, we've seen, you know, just with Sports Celebrity, we've seen, you know, we probably raised $5,000 or something in the first year that we did it 30 years ago, and you know, now we're raising hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? So it's a big thing, right? It just grows.
Incredible. Well, thank you so much for that. For those who maybe have missed it these past few hours, where is this located? How can people be a part of it?
Yeah, we have the Canada Day fireworks down at Hamilton Flats in Moose Jaw. Please come out, enjoy it. Be a bigger show than it was last year, and just find parking anywhere you can.
All right. Thank you both so much for your time. Once again, that is Hamilton Flats right here in Moose Jaw. You can come out Wednesday night, enjoy some beautiful fireworks.
calm, Jesse.
I'm the definition of calm.
Toy Story 5 picked up another $70 million in its second weekend, topping the box office after making the strongest debut of the year last weekend.
This does not look like this is going to end well for you guys.
Supergirl was this weekend's big new release, but only managed to collect $38 million, below what Warner Brothers had been hoping for.
I wish Nikki Freeman loved me more than anyone in the entire world.
And the low-budget horror hit Obsession took in just under $10 million, 7 weeks into its run.
Just have all these songs in my head. Just gotta get them out.
In other box office news, Michael, the Michael Jackson biopic, has now surpassed 2023's Oppenheimer as the highest-grossing biopic of all time. The film has raked in $977 million since its debut in April. And happy birthday to actress Camila Mendes, best known for her 7-season run on Riverdale. She also appeared in this year's Masters of the Universe movie. Mendes is 32. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Lionel Moise, ABC News.
A one-of-a-kind invention out of the Kootenays is smothered in creativity. Here is CTV's Adam Sawatsky.
Of all the things Jeremy Gervan had been asked to construct in his career, this was a first.
So they asked me to do a cheese curd flinging device.
Could he conceive of some sort of contraption, the local Francophone Association folks wondered, that could pitch fake cheese curds onto a pile of pretend poutine?
I thought this was pretty hilarious, as Canadian as can be.
It was the kind of question that could only be answered with oui, followed by Jeremy finding inspiration in the catapult invented by Leonardo da Vinci.
Because I'm a woodworker, I really came down to the Da Vinci design that uses 2 wooden springs.
Jeremy captured the whole process on camera, from crafting each component from scratch, assembling them all together, and then making countless refinements to make it propel properly.
The biggest challenge was to be able to have enough force without breaking itself.
The troubleshooting process demanded expertise in math, engineering, and physics before Jeremy considered the possibilities of yoga balls, bananas, and water balloons.
As a problem solver, it was those moments that were super interesting and exciting.
After more than 2 months, almost 400 hours, Jeremy finally debuted his device at the Francophone Festival, showcasing how high-density foam, carved to look like curds, could be catapulted about 30 meters into a poutine dish featuring chainsaw-carved faux fries.
Oh, yes! Glad I did it, and the result was fun.
And like the gravy on poutine, the joy these cheese chuckers expressed was the special sauce that made it all complete.
It was an honor to represent the national dish.
While his catapult is set to be sold as a fundraiser for the Francophone Society, and he suggests it could be repurposed as a mechanized mascot for a poutinerie, or come Halloween, a propeller of pumpkins, Jeremy hopes his contraption's true legacy is more constructive.
And I hope I can inspire people to be creative and pick up tools.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News.
Okay, so I'd missed the price. I need the price because this is what I need. This is
Yeah.
my only birthday wish because I could fling poutine at her house from my house.
We could share
Just
poutine.
All the cheesy goodness hitting her in the face first thing in the morning.
And that would make my skin glow.
Opportunities.
Big dreams.
so much fun we could have.
Plan sounds so very Gouda.
Oh, you ruined it.
Sorry, I forgot it's your birthday. What a good joke, Daryl.
Thank you. That's very nice. See, look at that.
Hey.
Look at that. Hey, do you hear any similarities here? A new study has found similar patterns in how humans and apes laugh. They shared rhythmic patterns suggest a common ancestor millions of years ago that laughed the same way. Scientists now plan to see if their findings apply to other playful animals like dogs, cats, and horses.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Bet the monkeys thought my joke was good.
I'm not surprised by this one, though. I mean,
yeah,
they're very closely related to us.
What else do you have for us?
All right. Daryl's unimpressed by that one. World Cup fever is pretty sweet at this shop in LA.
We're
so excited for the World Cup in soccer, and there's so much energy right now surrounding it. So we thought, why not create a themed donut that's colorful and bright and something.
Randy's Donuts in Inglewood is making big, beautiful World Cup themed donuts. Inglewood is close to the Los Angeles Stadium, so they've become a big destination for fans along with the actual World Cup.
For $12 American, you can have one half of those donuts.
Yeah.
They look great, though.
Delicious. Calories don't count during the World Cup. It's just
calories don't count on birthdays. Calories don't count during the World Cup. Calories just don't count.
Summer.
That's it.
Rider game day.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll see you back here bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a great Monday.